Miss Claudia Lopez Agredo. In this afternoon, we are going to talk about interesting topic of the documentary about September 11, the new Pearl Harbor. This fair is on a Class B episode surrounding the events on the day of 9/11. This documentary does an excellent job transposing the official history against what the actual evidence demonstrates. Okay, now we're answer the following questions. Question number one: could the U.S. Air Force have prevent the attacks? Um, the United States is considered the country with the best effort in the world, when the most advanced technology with everything that happened on September 11. I consider that the attacks were well prepared after seeing the documentary. Let's say to understand a little more about this. Therefore, I am agreed with the opinion of Masiso Masuko. He says that something is wrong with the official version that the government gave to us. For me, the video planes, therefore has to locate the four planes behold they achieved their goal and the day government say that displays current be NIRSAT because the third of the transports but Masuko also show us that they were located but the current BNIRSAT because on September 11 the Air Force will done exercise. Therefore, they're only left for jets to defend the sector of the attack. We gave us more questions about this tragedy. So I really think that the use for could help prevent the attack. Okay, finish.
All right, Claudia, this is a answer amazing. Okay, that question is very important. Uh, of course, in the USA, there are the best defense in the world, and personally, I do not understand how that plane hit the White House and the two tower. I don't think the defense of the United States is so competent. That is so weird. I don't know why that. Okay, finish. This is my answer. I know it's very short, but this is I think.
All right, mate, Jose. My name is Juliet. My first answer is according to a what is said an an interview was carried out where the aircraft are intercept to make Altes attack because the transporter is the one that emits the signals and location of the aircraft, but that was of there was else love the communication between about aviation and the military forces. Finally, the military forces thems points towards the ocean and towards the center. Final equation.
Greetings, mate. I am Rosie. After watching of the video, I think that the attacks of September 11 could have been avoided if the United States National Security Agency had not ignored the surveillance system, as it could be prevented based on extensive reports of intelligence about the terrorist activity of these countries. Also, considering that the United States is the first world power. Okay.
Hi, Rosa. What do you think about that first question?
Okay, my turn. The USA Air Force is considered the largest air force in the world. Starting from this evidence such as the day of the attack, 11 September, the Air Force tracked on the plane for more than half an hours and could shoot in down even the forbidden soon, but did not don't do so. And on the other hand, finding of high military command that at the time of the attack were being replaced by novices. These facts leave much to think and about to include I think that a great power, such as the United States, if it could prevent this attack.
Okay, Claudia. Can you tell me where is the other question? The second question?
Okay, now question number 2. Were the Twin Tower deliberately demolished by explosives? It's very difficult to know the truth about the fall of the Twin Tower. I think this attack was well prepared. I agree that there were airplanes, but the airplane alone could not have penetrated the building as it did, not once but twice. Um, I think there was something powerful that destroyed the tower and turned it almost completely into dust, including most of the 200 tons of construction steel. Fire or airplanes have nothing to do with that. If you look carefully at the fall of the towers, you will notice that the towers were completely destroyed to pieces. I think there were explosives in the fall of the Twin Towers. Okay, finish.
All right. Wow, the explosion is amazing. All right. I don't know. I would not know how to respond with certain, but the evidence show many gaps that generate many doubts. For example, why were detonation hard before, during, and after the accident? Finish.
Okay, mate. Um, Apparently, it was against from fires, and the only source of fuel was office. Fortune, and they were not hot enough to after the stable of a style structure. There would be no reason why the towers collapsed because they had resisted the impact where they should have remained extended allow evacuation and rescue of all those who had survived the initial impacts and fears but collapsed in according to the video because the fire melted inside the columns which allow in or the with seconds falling where is collapsed floor at the floor but the armor remained connected to the columns even when they sank in the head according to the reason for the collapse in between and because the fire protection was evicted but this building had fire resisting and according to the NIST code were lasting but the of section had enough potential energy to then destroy the rest of the structure in veg of two layers of cities. Let's answer.
Thank you, Tatiana. It's difficult to decipher if the fall of the Twin Towers was due the conflagration of the five Science World Trade Centers were called in soil so they could have withstood fire without any problem, as can be seen in the videos from when the planes collided until they collapsed. It was in a minor of seconds. Um, the, rep- the report note that the twin towers were designed to withstand the crash of an airplane against the structure, so it is thought that the only way to knock down the towers was with a controlled internal explosion. Thank you.
Okay, I continue. Uh, According to demolition expert, first collapse point more to direct demolition. Also, there is convincing evidence, such at the cuts in of the steel column of the towers, and testimonies of firefighters who heard several explosions that have no explosion, no explanation, and no explosive substances were found. In the sequences that, according to experts, are used in demolition of building. All this and several more evidence make believe that the twin towers were deliberate demolition meant.
Okay. Now, number three, weird. Some people forgot about the attacks. Yes, in my opinion, obviously, they were worthy of these attacks. Also, the government, I think that someone on the high level security has to have a connection with anyone who was blown in the airplane. And it is clear, for me, in my opinion, it's clear that the government allowed the attacks was the Pentagon. Okay, finish.
Okay, Claudia. Sure. Again, yes, I believe. There were reportedly numerous warnings to the government, but apparently no one related to that report. The behavior government is so weird. Uh, I have a question. Why, why did they do nothing? Finish.
Thanks, mate Jose. Um, no, but the main buildings, such Casablanca, State Department and the UNA were evacuation at 10:25. Finish.
Thank you, Tatiana. I think that in view of the fact that other attacks by these terrorists have been perpetrated before, it was possible that there was a new attack, but mm, humanity did not imagine how serious it would be. But it's believed that there are many sources of information that collaborate with the terrorists. That if there were people who were aware that the United States was going to suffer a terrorist attack by Al Qaeda. Thank you.
Okay. Uh, Before September 11, important information was withheld from anti-terrorists. Richard Clarke, who could have organized the defense and even completely
Oh,
prevented the
there is
attack.
entertainment.
Your microphone, Claudia.
Okay. Uh, Four. Was the Pentagon really hit via plane? The official version that show us in the documentary is that the Pentagon D&D was hit, but also documentary show us that there is no proof that this is the case. In fact, there was enough evidence to show that the Pentagon was not hit via a plane. For example, the evidence is the fact that there were not found any plane parts outside or inside the building. For example, the engineers were also mentioned, and documentary told us that these engineers are supposed to be in the structural. So how could they be measured after the security factors, for example, that shown that the damage inside the Pentagon was created by an airplane? In the documentary, it showed us some picture about how was the building. For example, the windows were not broken. Okay.
All right. Of course, I'm sure. I think so, although there is certainly a manipulation in the accident. But sorely everything is very confusing, has many things that do not match. Thank you. Come on, the next one.
Thanks, mate. Yes, for a airplane in 45 plane, American Airlines Flight 76, the base from hit to collide with the Pentagon, but do no fail or lose or body or remains of the plane we're seen as the said equally and the 45-degree inclination, but is said and that a missile was fired that disintegrated the plane but continuing and the mission of the crash you can see that is the larger than is the plane, but the I was not the boarding plane but a missile. Next question. Thanks.
Mm, thank you. According to several reports and even in the video, there was no evidence showing that the Pentagon was hit by the plane. In this terrorist attack, one of the most widely reported theories is that it was not a plane but is missile, which is crashed into the Pentagon. Therefore, is a mystery of which all truth is unknown. Thank you.
Okay, it is difficult to accept this version with all the evidence present and, and with the studies done by experts and testimonies of the people who claim that it was not a plane, the crash into the Pentagon.
Okay. Next questions. Was Osama bin Laden really captured and killed? Um, mm, Sorry, tell me, the
Okay,
question is fine or serious?
it's fine,
Five,
fine.
five, five
Okay,
questions.
sorry. Okay, my question is, could the attacks have been prevented? According to the questions, I think that could have been prevented if only their effort had been completed that day. I am very sure that it could have intercepted the attack, but however, as we already know, there were only 4 planes or found in charge of the security in the sector of the country. Couldn't do anything to defend, no, even if they want to do, because the military exercise was only suspended. Um, an hour after the whole world knew what happened the day this airplane was an hour after crashing about across and against the towers. This military exercise only started an hour after the whole world knew that this tower were damaged. Okay, finish.
Well, I'm sure uh, the attack have been avoided because the United States defense is very powerful. It is certainly a very strange fact. The government of the United States sees everything. They take nothing by surprises. Thank you.
Thanks, May Jose. And my answer is if he had betrayed security, yes, because he would not have left place alone without any security starting with the aeronautics that he should have everything on, and the building did not have to be left without any protection from the dogs to let anyone enter in the private areas. Next hours.
Yes, I think that if it had been avoid, because according to the video, if there was information about the that led to the attacks of September 11, in this information had not been hidden, it's very likely that the terrorist attack was detected at the time and prevalent, so many people die. Thank you.
Okay, I think Suzanne, from the information given, we can infer that the USA has all the technological, military, and intelligence tool necessary to protect its country. Claudia, your microphone. Claudia, your microphone. Okay.
Okay. Question 6. Was Osama bin Laden really captured and killed? According to the questions, the documentary tells us that one possible cause of this tragedy is that the U.S. government will start war against Afghanistan 8 months before 9/11, so they need a reason to start this war by the end of 2003. 70% of the American believe that Afghanistan on explicit Al-Qaeda had cars and 9/11, but the evidence will show that these accusations is slightly, but the government need to put someone for 9/11, so they proceeded to capture and assassinate Osama bin Laden. According to the official version, bin Laden was murdered at this base together with his son Khalif, but even though there is clear evidence of this, I believe that bin Laden is actually dead. Okay, finish.
Okay. Wow. That question is very amazing. No. Well, this is a very controversial topic, and the truth is that I'm neutral because I don't know what to believe in this instance, but I know all is possible. So, time, we have to believe that the news is nice to us, but I know that not everything is true. Thank you. That's all.
Thanks, mate. Not until 2006, he was a prisoner for an if near the military base, who was very sick, who was isolated from the rest of the world, and this was where the United States found the whereabouts of Osama bin Laden, where the group was killed in the same place where he tried to catch a reef but did not reach. Thanks.
Thank you, Tatiana. Everything influence political in- interest with those events of September 11. According to report, it is said that the special force of the United States Navy were guided by Pakistani spies to where Osama bin Laden was refuted. There, there they meet the terrorists, and it was a shot in the head that killed by bin Laden. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, this point is quite complicated since there is not much clarity around this event. According to the government of the United States, Osama bin Laden was assassinated by a military man who was part of the group assigned to capture Osama alive or dead. But the theory that he's alive and that the government of the United States send him money. I don't believe in that. I tend more to believe the version that he activate the Bell explosives that was carrying was no, to be stopped by the government of United States since a terrorist like this or who have radical ideas in action and terrorists are not easy to believe that he has been sold by the government of USA.
Okay. Last one question. Was 9/11 caused by the American government on purpose? The last question for me was not movement cash cast by the American government or proposed. It goes a very complicated topic to develop. To me, watching the documentary, the truth is that it's hard to believe that after so many warnings, so many failures without meaning on the part of the government, it's hard to believe that the attack on the Twin Tower and the Pentagon could not be prevented in any way, even that when they knew that the White House had the right to shoot down any after to the Capitol. As as I said before, it is also the fact that the plane was going to hit the Pentagon was synchronized. Therefore, to me, so this suggests idea that someone suggests the driver to wait for something to happen. I mean, I suppose it goes not hit the Pentagon. In conclusion, as Masuko says, it's very difficult to believe that the government was not involved in so many by poor in this attack. I think that the government had many parts that were involved in this. Okay, finish.
Oh, Claudia, thank you for that answer. Well, now I believe that everything is possible. The USA has always wanted to manipulate everything. Well, if it does it with the other countries, the more it is own territory. In this instance, I believe that everything is possible, but it complicates. Thank you.
Okay, Med Jose. My answer is no. Those attacks were caused by Al Qaeda, where they were division signs 1982, while the United States has allowed Israel to invade Lebanon, and it was like a refugee to all this. Thank you.
Thank you, Tatiana. Although some of the conspiracy theories propose that it was the secret agent of Israel or Pakistan who were behind the attacks. There is also told that the United States government had prior knowledge of the attacks and deliberately didn't think they prevent them. In my opinion, it is naive to imagine that the United States, the most powerful country in the world, and the world's leading power highlighted by intelligence, military power, and technology can be attacked in such a way. Thank you.
Okay, according to the all theories and evidence collected by specialists, professional journalists, testimonial firefighter, and peoples who live closest to the explosion and sequence collapse of the towers. And the conclusion of the supposed plane that was crashed in the Pentagon. Seeing in the study material, everything seemed to indicate that I was self-attack. And everything with the sole purpose of the starting of cruel war, sacrificing even more innocent peoples to have more power. But on the other hand, it is hard to believe that human beings are capable of doing sometimes so cruel against their own peoples, and even more the uses at our life this only to avoid more power. So as the law until it is really demonstrated what happened we are left with the or whether it was conspiracy on terrorists. But this part almost impossible because the USA government will never accept a charge like that or carrying out a self-attack.
All right, Rosa. Thank you very much. Okay, Gora. This is the conclusion, the general conclusion. All right.
Okay, Jose.
Yes. This is an answer, fact, and surrounded by theories. The reality is very complex and has many faces, seen with trust, and opinion is very personality. And this subject, as with almost any subject, I have a neutral panel view. I think I don't know precisely if the United States carried out an act of false flag or it was really an attack. But if there is a something, through it is that I use the attack as an excuse to invade Iraq. In addition to lying about the supposed weapon of mass destruction that never was found in Iraq. They use people through absolute fear and confusion created by the media to claim security and approve the war against Iraq. Thousands and thousands people took to the street, the world, to protest against the war in Iraq, including veterans of war, the Second War, and the War of Vietnam. From my point of view, I think the attack was used to make the invasion of Iraq logically map of the media, but left and right don't show you 100% reality, but you can always get information to look more and say weird and thus create your own point of view and not share a point of general view. Thank you, War. Thank you, Claudia. Thank you, Rosa. Thank you, Rosie. Thank you, Tatiana. Yeah, that's all.
Okay. See you soon. Have a good day. Bye bye.
All right, bye. Thank you.